So, when to apply conversational control, in which kind of situations you should use conversational control or you should apply conversational control. So, you should try to control the conversation when you are selling or when you are buying something. While selling something or while buying something, you should try to control the conversation. If you are a seller, you should try to convince the customer to buy your product or your service. If you are the customer, then you must be able to inquire about the product properly. So when you sell something or when you buy something, conversational control is required. That means you need to have control over the conversation. Number two is negotiating. When you negotiate regarding something with someone, you need to apply the techniques of conversational control. Because when you negotiate, you need to convince the other person. So that's why conversational control, application of conversational control is required. Next, when you face an interview, you must be able to convince the interviewer that you are the best fit for the position, for the particular position or for the organization. So that's why you must be able to express your thoughts, your opinions properly. Next is when you participate in meetings. So when you participate in meetings, when you have to share your views and opinions, you need to apply the ways of conversational control. Then only the other people will listen to you. Otherwise, other people will not be at all interested to listen to you or your ideas. Next is disagreeing without being rude. So whenever you are having a conversation with someone, now we are unique in our own ways. We can have different choices, we can have different opinions, we can have different views, isn't it? So sometimes we might disagree, isn't it? Sometimes we might agree and sometimes we might disagree. But whenever you disagree, you must try to you must try not to be rude. Okay, so when you are disagreeing to something, but at the same time, you also have to make sure that you are not at all rude. So, in that case, in this kind of situation, you have to uh, apply conversational control. Next is complimenting or praising someone. So, whenever you compliment someone or praise someone, so there's a way of complimenting people. It should not sound cheap when you compliment someone, when you praise someone. It should not sound sugary. So there's a way of complimenting people. There's a way of expressing it. So that's why you need to be very conscious about it. And last one is to when you respond to criticism. So responding to criticism is another very important part of when you need to apply conversational control. In this kind of situation, you definitely need to be patient. You definitely need to be calm and composed and accordingly respond to negative feedback or criticism. So application of conversational control is necessary in these situations. And apart from these situations, there are various other situations as well where conversational control is necessary, but these are some of the general common situations where you have to apply conversational control. Is it clear, students? I had already discussed about this topic earlier, so I hope now it's clear. It was just kind of a revision. Now, before moving ahead to controlled response to conversational attack, I would like to explain you a topic that is direction of conversation. Okay. Now, I have listed a few 5 points. Okay, related to this topic, direction of conversation. So, whenever you have a conversation with someone, whenever you interact with someone, you might face this 5 situations. Okay, so the first one might be rejection, the second might be disagreement, then third, consideration, fourth, agreement, and fifth is commitment. So generally this is the basic direction of a conversation. So when you are trying to convince someone, generally when you are trying to convince someone or when you are trying to negotiate, then at first you might face some kind of rejection. But you should not be disheartened and you should keep on trying. You should try to be positive and you should try to convince. And definitely there might be some kind of disagreement, rejection and disagreement, but if you are good enough, if you are good enough and if you have good communication skills, if you can control the conversation, if you can interact with the other person properly, if you can convince the other person properly, if you can express your feelings, your opinions properly, then there will be a point when there will be consideration. The other person will be considerate enough. Okay, the other person will listen to you, the other person will think now whether to listen to you or not, whether you are right or not. So the other person will consider whatever proposal you have given to him or whatever you are trying to say him, and then after the consideration there is this agreement, okay, where both of you are going to agree to one another. So it's not that the when two people are having any kind of conversation, both of them might disagree, or both of them might reject, and rejection and disagreements are something that will definitely occur because we are different individuals, we have different opinions, we have different views, isn't it? So that's why uh, when you begin the conversation, there might be rejection and disagreement from both the sides. But after that, when you when you express your opinions properly, when you are able to communicate with the other person properly, when the other person is being able to communicate with you properly, then there will be a phase which is known as the consideration phase. So in that phase, you both will listen to one another and you both will consider one another's ideas. Okay. Then after consideration, both of you will agree. Okay, both of you will agree, and after that, after the agreement is done, then commitment is something that is very necessary. When you have a conversation with someone, whenever you have a conversation with someone, especially during a meeting, especially when you are trying to sell something or buy something, whenever you are negotiating regarding something with someone. So commitment is very necessary. After agreement, commitment is very necessary. Suppose you are negotiating with someone regarding a product or a service regarding something. Okay, so commitment is very necessary. Uh, in case of an interview, suppose you are having a conversation with the interviewer, so commitment from both the ends is necessary. So after you agree, commitment is something that is very necessary. So these are the 5 phases of a conversation. So it generally starts with rejection, disagreement, then there's consideration, then there is agreement, and after that, the last one is to commit one another. Okay, so this is the simple direction of a conversation. Okay, moving ahead. So these are no the topics which are not so complicated, very simple topics. So that's why I'm not taking much time to explain these topics. Once I complete the topics, once I explain to you all the given topics, then if you have not understood something or if you have any doubts, then you can definitely ask me. Okay. So the last topic is controlled response to conversational attack. Now, before moving on to the response part, we must know what is conversational attack. What is an attack? So, attacking during a conversation is using destructive argument designed to either demolish an argument that is being presented or even as an attack on a person intended to create fear, demoralize them, or otherwise prompt concession. Now, when we hear this term attack, so it's generally uh, a destructive argument that is designed to either demolish an argument that is being presented or to even attack on a person, to even attack a person. So now when you face this kind of attacks or when you face this kind of negative situations, how should you respond? Okay, being a listener, being a person who is attacked, okay, how are you supposed to react in this kind of situation? And when you will start your career, when you will start your career, do a job, okay, then this would be something that you would face, that you would definitely face. So your co-workers might try to attack you, sometimes attack as in conversation attack, okay. So your boss might try to do it, so you might face this kind of situation. So you must be ready for this kind of situation, rather than like losing hope when you face this kind of situation, rather than being sad when you face this kind of situation. You should know how to react in this kind of situations, and you must try to act accordingly, okay. So I hope conversational attack, the term conversational attack, is clear to you all. Is it clear, students? I want to know from you all.
Yes, ma'am.
Is the term conversational attack clear to you all? So now, without any reason, if I start, if I start to curse you, okay? If I start to curse you, then that would be an attack. That would be an attack. And in that kind of situation, you should know how to how to react, how to what to do in this kind of situation. Okay. Now there are a few ways to respond in this kind of situation. So I had already explained you how to respond to negative responses. So it's quite similar to that topic, but negative feedback or response does not only always mean an attack. So that's the only difference. But how you should react to this kind of situation, it's almost same. Okay. So the first thing that you should do is to control your emotions. Okay, emotions are something that might uh, that might uh, that might not help you sometimes, okay. So that's why you must be careful regarding your emotions. And when you are at your workplace, you should definitely try not to be emotional. You should not try to be emotional. Your strings of attachments, your emotions should be kept away from your work and your workplace. Okay, so whenever somebody is trying to attack you, okay, whenever you face this kind of a situation, you are supposed to control your emotions. If you cannot control your emotions, I will tell you the consequences. You might cry, you might cry, you might be devastated, you might feel very low, and on the contrary, and you might also like start arguing, you might also start fighting, okay, you might start abusing, cursing the other person. So that's why, especially when you are at your workplace, when you are dealing with your boss, your co-workers, or any client, you must try to control your emotions even if you are in this kind of situation. So you should keep your emotions aside. Okay, the second point is to focus on your body language. Okay, so in this kind of situations, you might lose control. That is very normal. We are human beings, and we might lose control when somebody is trying to demotivate you, when somebody is trying to uh, intentionally attack you. So when somebody is trying to create fear or demoralize you, so you might lose control, you might lose control of your emotions. At the same time, you might also lose control of your body language. So that is why you're supposed to focus on your body language. Okay, your facial expressions, your body language, your gestures should not portray anything that is provocative, that can provoke the other person. So you are supposed to take care of your facial expressions, of your posture, and especially your gestures. Okay, now face is something that you cannot cover, isn't it, that you cannot cover. So you have to control your expressions. Because you cannot cover your face, you need to control your expressions. Sometimes unintentionally, we people show certain expressions which are not at all acceptable, or which are not at all good, okay, or not at all positive. So you must try to control your expressions. So focus on your body language whenever you are in this kind of a situation. The third point is to say sorry. So if the situation demands, you need to say sorry. If you think that a sorry be able to will be able to help you to find out a solution or to control the whole situation, then do not hesitate to say a sorry. If the situation demands, if it is necessary, if you think that it is necessary to say a sorry in order to control the situation, then of course you should go ahead and say sorry. Okay, sorry, thank you, and please. These are the three words which will help you a lot in your life, which will definitely help you to handle a lot of situations, which will help you to control a lot of situations. So never hesitate to say please, thank you, and sorry whenever it is necessary. Okay. The fourth point is to take a break. If you are exhausted, if you are too devastated, if you are exhausted, then take a break. You need a break. If you are not being able to figure out what is going on, what is going around, so it's necessary for you to take out some time for yourself. You need to take a break in order to understand and in order to get back. Okay, so take a break if it is uh, necessary. The fifth point is not to take it personally. Okay, so whenever somebody is trying to say you something negative, or trying to trying to create fear or trying to demoralize you or demotivate you or even intentionally trying to attack you, do not take it personally. Never ever take it personally, because if you take it personally, you will feel sad, you will feel low. It is going to hamper your emotional stability, your mental stability. So that's why try not to take it personally. So as I had said that you must keep your emotions away, you must keep your emotions aside when you are at your workplace, when you are dealing with clients, your boss, your co-workers. So try to keep your emotions aside and try not to take it personally. If you can take it professionally, then you will be able to overcome it easily. If you take it personally, then you'll be sad. You will be depressed. So that is why try not to take it personally. Next, sixth. So I have written here breathe. Okay, so whenever you are too angry or depressed and somebody is trying to pull you down, when somebody is being too rude to you, okay, and you know that you cannot be that rude, you cannot be equally rude to that other person, what you can practice is breathe. Breathe in order to calm yourself down. Breathe in order to control your anger. Breathe in order to control your stress. And in this kind of situation, breathing, deep breathing will definitely help you to overcome this kind of situation, and also to it will help you not to react in a negative way in this kind of situation. The next point is to listen. So you must listen what the other person is trying to say to you. Okay, listen to the other person. If your boss is trying to say you something, or if your boss is like scolding you, and if your boss is actually being very rude to you, yes, of course, nobody would like to hear this kind of things, but you don't have any other option. So listen to the other person, and you might not you should not look lost in this kind of situation. Listen to the other person, be diplomatic, try to be diplomatic, and listen to the other person. So you'll be able to control the situation. If you look lost, or if you look disinterested, if your body language, if your facial expression, if your posture portrays something like that, then the other person will not like it, and the other person will again try to demoralize you, or the situation will not be under control. So in order to control the situation, listen to the other person and also try to be diplomatic. The eighth and the last point is to be patient. So patience is very necessary in this kind of situation. So you have to work on it. You have to be patient enough. So now as a student, you might not be too patient, okay, but when you will start working, you have to work on your patience. You have to be patient, you have to be able to listen to others, even if you don't want to. You have to be ready to listen to criticism, to listen to negative feedbacks. You have to be ready for this kind of situations, and that's why you need to work on your patience. You need to be very patient, and then only you will be able to survive, then only you will be able to grow. So these are the 8 points which will help you to control your response, to control the situation when somebody is trying to attack you, when somebody is trying to demoralize, to dominate you, or when somebody is being very rude to you. So control response to conversational attack. So I hope it's I hope you have understood, and these are the things that I am teaching you now. Why am I teaching you? I'm teaching you so that you can use these things in your personal life, in your day to day life. You need to implement these things. Until and unless you do not implement, you will never be able to, you'll never be able to learn. So you have to implement it. Suppose you are in this kind of a situation and somebody is trying to attack you during a conversation. So, what are you supposed to do? So, these are the things I had already explained you. Control your emotions, focus on your body language. If the situation demands, say sorry. So, I have told you the ways to control this kind of a situation, to how to react in this kind of a situation. So, if until and unless you do not implement it, you will never be able to understand it. So, whenever it is necessary to implement it, okay? So, that's all. That's all regarding controlled response to conversational attack. Now, I want to know it. I want to know from all of you whether you have understood or not. Whether you have any doubt, any questions from your end. Any doubts, students?
No, ma'am. No doubts.
Okay, so I'll be sharing the notes in the group itself. So go through the topics and let me know if you have any doubts. These are very simple topics, so that's why read it once, and if you have any doubts, do let me know. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So that's all for today, students. So with this, I have completed. I think I completed the syllabus. So if you have any kind of doubts regarding any topic, okay, regarding any topic, you can ask me. Okay, tomorrow we have a class. Tomorrow you have a class. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me. And the students who did not deliver the presentation, your next date to deliver the presentation is 8th. Okay, 8th January. 8th January. You have a class on a Friday, so you have a class on Friday, I think at 1. So the ones who have not yet delivered the presentation, be ready with your presentations. So you will have to deliver your presentations on 8th. Okay, so that's all for today, students. Thank you, everyone. See you in the next class. And if you have any
Thank you, ma'am.
doubts, do let me know tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.